You're joining us because you want to get a real handle on what happened with that terrible plane crash in upstate New York this weekend. And that's exactly what we're aiming for today.
Yeah, it's just an incredibly sad story. We're going to try and unpack the
We
details.
are. We want to look closely at, well, the event itself, but also the people involved.
Absolutely. It's heartbreaking when you start to learn about who was lost. 6 people, all family or partners, including someone who'd achieved so much already.
You mean Karenna Groff?
Hmm.
Her name definitely came up early in the reports. The CBS News piece we looked at mentioned she was a former NCAA Woman of the Year.
Right, which is huge, but honestly, that's just scratching the surface, isn't it?
It really is. So our mission here, really, is to understand the key facts, the circumstances, and also get a sense of well, the incredible individuals who were on that flight.
Exactly. Go a bit beyond the headlines, piece together what's known, and remember the people.
Okay, so let's start with the incident itself. Where and when did this happen?
So the reports, the CBS one, place it in Copake, that's upstate New York, and it happened just after noon on Saturday.
Saturday afternoon. And the plane, what kind was it?
It was a twin-engine Mitsubishi MU-2B. An important detail is where it was going. It took off from Westchester County Airport.
Right, in White Plains.
Yeah, White Plains, and it was headed for Columbia County Airport up in Hudson, New York.
Okay. And do we know why they were making that specific trip?
Yes, it seems they were heading to a Passover celebration for the weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay, that adds another layer to it, understanding the context. For Passover.
Yeah, it gives you a clearer picture, the family connection, the timing. It's just tragic.
Definitely. Now, about the crash itself, what's the initial information? What do we know so far?
Well, one really interesting point from the NTSB, that's the National Transportation Safety Board, they investigate these things. They apparently have a video.
A video.
Yes, showing the aircraft was reportedly intact just before it started coming down really fast. A high-rate descent, they called it.
Intact, but descending rapidly. That's, yeah, that certainly raises questions.
It does. It's a significant piece of information early on.
And the report also mentioned a low altitude alert. What does that tell us?
So that's basically a warning system in the cockpit. It goes off if the plane drops below a certain safe height above the ground. It's meant to alert the pilot, pull up.
Okay. So that suggests they were already losing altitude pretty seriously.
Exactly. It confirms there was a significant loss of altitude happening.
Did air traffic control try to reach them after that alert?
They did. According to the NTSB officials, yeah, multiple attempts were made to contact the pilot.
Yeah.
No response. And, maybe even more telling, there was no distress call made from the plane at all.
That silence, it feels significant, doesn't it?
It really does. Often points to something very sudden happening, or perhaps incapacitation, but it's too early to say for sure.
Was there any damage on the ground? Did it hit anything?
Thankfully, no. The Columbia County Undersheriff confirmed the plane didn't hit any structures when it came down. A small mercy in all this.
Yeah, absolutely. The article also said getting to the site was tough.
Right. Apparently, the ground conditions were really muddy, made it difficult for the first responders to access the actual crash site quickly.
Okay, got it. And the identification of the victims, that wasn't immediate, was it?
No, the investigators didn't release names right away. It was actually a joint statement from the families involved, the Groff, Santoro, and Duarte families, that came out Sunday night, confirming who the 6 people were.
That must have been incredibly difficult. But it allows us to understand the full scope of the loss.
It does, and it leads us to talking about the individuals themselves.
Let's start with Karenna Groff, as we mentioned. NCAA Woman of the Year in 2022, former MIT soccer player. That's huge.
It's incredibly prestigious. That award isn't just about sports. It's academics, leadership, community service. It really tells you what kind of person she was. So well-rounded, so driven.
And her academics were just as stellar.
Oh, absolutely. She got her bachelor's in biological engineering from MIT in 2022, then stayed on for her master's, finished that in 2023, same field.
Wow. Bachelor's and master's from MIT in biological engineering.
And she wasn't stopping there. At the time of the crash, she was actually enrolled at the Grossman School of Medicine at NYU, studying to be a doctor.
An amazing athlete, brilliant student, heading into medicine. NYU put out a statement, didn't they?
They did. A spokesperson talked about her exceptional skill and unwavering passion towards the care of patients. They mentioned her warmth, grace, kindness, just how much joy she brought. It sounds like she made a real impact there already.
Really paints a picture of someone special.
Definitely. Not just accomplished, but clearly a wonderful person, too.
There was something about Fenway Park throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah.
Right.
That was back in April 2023. It's a pretty cool honor, right?
Right.
Shows her standing as this top student athlete, especially with the MIT connection in Boston.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about her father, Dr. Michael Groff, a neurosurgeon.
Yes, another incredibly demanding and skilled profession. And crucially, in this context, the family statement highlighted he was an experienced pilot.
Ah, okay, so he was likely flying the plane.
It seems so.
Hmm.
Apparently, he learned to fly from his own father when he was just 16, so this wasn't a new thing for him. He'd been flying for a long time.
Right, an experienced pilot. And Karenna's mother.
Dr. Joy Siney. She was also in medicine, a urogynecologist, and she founded her own practice, Boston Pelvic Health and Wellness, out in Wellesley, Massachusetts.
Another highly accomplished medical professional. It's just,
Wow.
wow, such a concentration of achievement in one family.
It really is striking. Dedicated professionals clearly making a difference.
Then there was James Santoro, Karenna's boyfriend. He was on the plane too.
Yes, and this part is just terribly sad. He also graduated from MIT, like Karenna. He was working as an investment associate at Silver Point Capital,
Okay.
and the family shared something truly heartbreaking. He was actually planning to propose to Karenna this summer.
Oh no, that's just devastating.
Yeah.
Planning a future together.
Yeah, puts the loss into even sharper focus, doesn't it? The future they won't have.
It really does. And Karenna's brother, Jared, was also there.
Jared Groff, yes. He graduated from Swarthmore College in 2022. He was working as a paralegal in New York at a firm called DW Partners, just starting out his career, really.
Another young life. And his partner, Alexia Duarte. She was with him.
She was. And she also sounds like she had an incredibly bright future, a 2023 Swarthmore grad as well. And she'd just recently been accepted to Harvard Law School.
Harvard Law. Wow, that's another huge achievement. So much potential lost.
Exactly. Just immense potential across the board with all of them.
The family's joint statement described them all as brilliant, dynamic, and loving people. It feels like such an understatement given everything we've just heard, but also so powerful.
It really does. You feel the weight of that loss in their words. It captures the essence of who these people were to them and likely to many others.
So, switching back to the investigation for a moment, where does that stand now?
Well, as we mentioned, the NTSB has that video showing the plane was intact before the crash. That's a key piece.
Right. So that might help rule out, say, a mid-air breakup.
Potentially, yes. It might steer the investigation more towards, what happened inside the aircraft or perhaps environmental factors or a different kind of mechanical issue that didn't cause it to break apart but led to the loss of control. But it's still early days.
Okay, so we really have to wait for the NTSB's full report to understand the cause.
Exactly. These investigations are incredibly thorough. They look at everything: the aircraft maintenance records, the pilot's history, weather conditions, air traffic control recordings, the wreckage itself. It takes time.
Understandable. So just to kind of wrap up the key points here. A tragic plane crash upstate New York, Saturday afternoon. 6 people lost their lives.
6 remarkable people. Karenna Groff, the former NCAA Woman of the Year, MIT grad, future doctor.
Her parents, Dr. Michael Groff, the neurosurgeon and experienced pilot, and Dr. Joy Siney, the urogynecologist.
Karenna's boyfriend, James Santoro, also MIT grad, investment associate, with plans to propose.
Her brother, Jared Groff, a Swarthmore grad starting his career.
And Jared's partner, Alexia Duarte, another Swarthmore grad, just accepted to Harvard Law, all heading to a family Passover celebration.
It's just an almost unbelievable collection of talent and promise.
It truly is. You see the individual accomplishments, the dedication, especially in medicine with Karenna and her parents, and the bright futures ahead for James, Jared, and Alexia. It makes the loss feel exceptionally profound.
Yeah, and while the investigation continues, we're left with this picture of these vibrant lives cut short.
We are. And the words from their families, brilliant, dynamic, and loving people, that really resonate.
It does. Hearing about something like this sudden catastrophic event impacting such accomplished and loved individual, it really does make you stop and think, doesn't it? It's that stark reminder of how fragile things can be, how quickly everything can change. Makes you want to hold on to the people you care about a little tighter, maybe?
Yeah.
And just think about all the potential, all the dreams, all the good they might have done, just gone in an instant. It's something to sit with, I think. Really makes you reflect.